The Fisherman and the Magical Fish, a tale of wishes and consequences. In a small coastal village, nestled between the vast expanse of the ocean and the lush green hills, lived a humble fisherman named Tuma. Every morning, as the sun painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, he would set out in his small wooden canoe, casting his nets into the sparkling waters. The ocean was a mysterious and enchanting place, with its ever-changing tides and the songs of the wind whispering secrets of the deep. Though his catch was often meager, he was content, sharing his modest meals with his beloved wife, Abena, and finding joy in the simple pleasures of life. Tuma and Abena had lived together for many years, and their love was as deep as the ocean. Their thatched roof hut, adorned with colorful shells and driftwood, stood as a testament to their shared life. However, despite their happiness, they often felt the weight of poverty, as the sea sometimes offered little more than a few fish to sustain them. The villagers admired Tuma for his skill in fishing and his unwavering kindness, while Abena was known for her warmth and wisdom. She often gathered the children of the village to share stories passed down through generations, teaching them the values of community and generosity. Yet, as the years rolled by, the villagers began to notice the toll that hard times took on Tuma and Abena. Their laughter grew fainter, and their eyes, once bright with hope, dimmed under the weight of their struggles. One day, as Tuma sailed further than usual, he noticed the water shimmering with an unusual light. The sunlight danced upon the surface, creating a kaleidoscope of colors that captivated him. Curious, he maneuvered his canoe closer to the radiant spot. To his astonishment, he found a large fish, its scales glimmering like gold, swimming gracefully in the depths. It was unlike any fish he had ever seen, adorned with hues of blue and green, shimmering in the light. Intrigued by the sight, he cast his net and, after a struggle, managed to catch the magnificent creature. As he pulled the fish aboard, it began to speak in a melodious voice. "Please, kind fisherman, spare my life. I am a magical fish and can grant you 3 wishes in exchange for my freedom." Tuma was taken aback. A magical fish. 3 wishes. How can this be? His heart raced with excitement and disbelief. The fish swam closer, its eyes sparkling with a mysterious light. "Yes, indeed. But remember, with each wish comes a consequence. Use them wisely." Tuma returned home, his heart pounding with anticipation. He shared the tale with Abena, who listened intently, her eyes wide with wonder. "What should we wish for first?" she asked, her voice trembling with excitement. After much deliberation, they decided on their first wish. "I wish for enough fish to feed our village," Tuma declared, envisioning the smiles on their neighbors' faces. The magical fish nodded, and in an instant, their humble hut was filled with fresh, glistening fish. The couple rejoiced, inviting their neighbors to share in the bounty. The villagers were delighted, praising Tuma and Abena for their generosity. "You have saved us, Tuma," one villager exclaimed, clutching a fish tightly. However, as the days passed, Tuma noticed that the sea grew eerily quiet. The waves no longer danced with the usual energy, and fishermen from neighboring villages returned with empty nets. Concerned, Tuma approached the magical fish once more. "The sea is barren. We wished for abundance, yet it seems the ocean has become depleted." The fish swam gracefully through the water, its expression solemn. "Every wish carries a cost, dear fisherman. Your first wish has upset the balance of nature." Despite the unsettling consequences of their first wish, Tuma and Abena were still tempted by the possibilities. They discussed their next desire, wanting to improve their lives. "Let's wish for a beautiful home, one that will keep us safe and warm," Abena suggested, her eyes gleaming with dreams of comfort. Tuma agreed, and they made the second wish. The fish shimmered, and in the blink of an eye, their modest hut transformed into a grand house with vibrant walls and a sturdy roof. The villagers marveled at the sight, admiring the couple's newfound wealth. "Look at Tuma and Abena. They have truly been blessed," they said, their voices filled with awe. However, with their new home came unforeseen troubles. The couple found themselves preoccupied with maintaining their lavish lifestyle. They purchased extravagant furniture and beautiful decorations, spending time worrying about appearances rather than enjoying each other's company. Neighbors began to resent them, and jealousy simmered beneath the surface. What once was a close-knit community began to fracture, and whispers filled the air. Tuma felt a heavy weight on his heart. "I never intended to create distance between us and our neighbors," he confessed to Abena. "Perhaps we should have wished for something more meaningful." Days turned into weeks, and Tuma and Abena found themselves increasingly isolated. The joy they once shared had begun to fade, replaced by tension and misunderstandings. One evening, sitting on the porch of their new home, Abena sighed, "Maybe we should wish for happiness or peace among our neighbors." Tuma nodded, feeling the truth in her words. "But how can we do that? Happiness can't be wished into existence." In that moment, a realization dawned on them. They had been so consumed by their desires that they had lost sight of what truly mattered: love, community, and contentment. They approached the magical fish one last time, ready to make their final wish. With heavy hearts, they stood before the shimmering fish, ready to make their final wish. "We wish for our village to return to how it once was," Tuma said, his voice steady yet filled with emotion. "We want the joy of community back, the laughter, and the unity we once had." The magical fish nodded, its expression thoughtful. "This wish will restore balance, but remember, it comes with a heavy price. Are you prepared for the consequences?" "Yes," they replied in unison, determination shining in their eyes. With a graceful flick of its tail, the fish granted their wish. The village transformed, laughter filled the air, and neighbors embraced each other as they returned to their lives of harmony. Yet, as the villagers celebrated, Tuma and Abena felt an unexpected emptiness inside. The next day, they woke to find their grand home had reverted to their original humble hut. Their possessions had vanished, and the ocean lay still once more. They had gained their community back, but at the cost of their material wealth. Though they had lost their riches, Tuma and Abena discovered a newfound appreciation for their lives. They joined their neighbors in fishing and gathering, sharing stories and meals once more. The village thrived with joy, and the ocean, too, seemed to respond positively, bringing forth an abundance of fish again. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky with vibrant colors, Tuma and Abena sat on the shore with the villagers, sharing tales and laughter. The children played nearby, their laughter ringing like music through the air. Tuma felt warmth spread through his heart. "Look at how happy they are," he said to Abena. "This is what truly matters." Abena smiled, her eyes shining with love. "Yes, my dear. We may have lost our material possessions, but we have gained something far greater, our community and the love we share." As the couple worked side by side, they realized that true wealth lay not in possessions but in love, friendship, and the simple joys of life. They often visited the magical fish, expressing their gratitude for the lessons learned. One day, as Tuma and Abena sat by the shore, the magical fish emerged from the water, glowing brightly. "You have learned well, dear ones. The wishes you made revealed the true nature of your hearts." Tuma smiled, filled with warmth. "Thank you for the journey. We will cherish our village and the love we share." The fish swam closer, its voice soothing and melodic. "Remember, the power of wishes can change not only your life but the lives of those around you. Use it wisely, for your heart is the compass that guides your path." With a flick of its tail, the fish splashed back into the ocean, leaving a trail of shimmering light. Tuma and Abena watched as the magical fish disappeared beneath the waves, feeling a profound sense of connection to the sea and its mysteries. As the years passed, the story of the fisherman and the magical fish became a beloved folktale in the village. Children gathered around the elders, listening with wide eyes as the tale unfolded. They learned about the power of wishes, the importance of community, and the consequences of greed. Tuma and Abena grew old together, surrounded by children and grandchildren who carried the values they instilled. They often shared meals with neighbors, their hearts filled with gratitude for the life they had built together. One day, as they gathered with their family, Tuma began to share their story. "It is important to remember," he said, "that what we have in life is not measured by what we possess but by the love we give and the relationships we nurture." Abena nodded, adding, "Each of you carries the power to shape your future. Always think of the consequences of your actions, and let your heart guide you." The village flourished, united by the lessons learned from Tuma and Abena's journey. Every year, they held a festival celebrating their bond and the abundance of the sea. Fishermen and women would gather to share their catches, children would play games, and elders would tell stories of old. During one festival, Tuma decided to organize a fishing competition to strengthen the spirit of camaraderie among the villagers. The day was filled with excitement as participants set out on their canoes, laughter echoing across the water. Abena prepared a feast for all, inviting everyone to share in the celebration. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the village, Tuma stood up to speak. "Let this day remind us of the strength we find in unity and the joy of sharing. No matter how much we may have or lack, we are richer together." The villagers cheered, their hearts filled with gratitude and joy. As time went on, Tuma and Abena often reflected on their life together, grateful for the lessons learned through the magical fish. One evening, as they sat on the porch, Tuma said, "You know, my love, it's the challenges we face that have brought us here." Abena smiled softly. "Yes, and we must continue to teach our children about the value of humility and gratitude. The world can be tempting, but true happiness comes from within." They spent their days tending to their small garden, sharing wisdom with the villagers, and watching their grandchildren grow. Each day was a gift, filled with love, laughter, and connection. The story of the magical fish and the humble fisherman echoed through generations. The villagers passed down the wisdom learned from Tuma and Abena's journey. They shared tales of kindness, compassion, and the strength of community, ensuring that the lessons remained alive in their hearts. Years later, as Tuma and Abena sat by the shore, they watched their grandchildren playing in the sand. The sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. Abena took Tuma's hand and said, "We have built a legacy of love and unity, my dear. Our story will continue to inspire others, just as the ocean inspires us." As the waves crashed gently against the shore, Tuma replied, "Indeed. And we must always remember that the greatest treasures in life are the connections we make and the love we share." And so, the legacy of the fisherman and the magical fish continued, a tale of wishes and consequences, forever reminding them that true magic lies not in wishes, but in the love we share and the bonds we forge. And so, the tale of the fisherman and the magical fish continued, echoing through time, reminding all who heard it that the true treasures of life are found in love, kindness, and the connections we forge with one another. Did you learn something new today? Let us know in the comment section and please subscribe for more.